There are many notable Scots, from scientists and inventors to architects and literary greats. One of these was James Hutton, later known as the father of modern geology. James Hutton was born on 3rd June 1726 to Edinburgh merchant William Hutton and his wife Sarah Balfour. When he was just 3 years old, his father died, and as he was his father's heir, he inherited 2 farms, Slight Houses and Nether Moninut in Berwickshire. He went on to study at Edinburgh's High School and was most interested in mathematics and chemistry. Aged 14, he entered the University of Edinburgh to study humanities and classics. 3 years later, he was apprenticed to solicitor George Chalmers, but his heart wasn't in it, much preferring to carry out chemical experiments rather than dealing with law matters. When he was 18, he became a physician's assistant. Like so many at the time, he attended the University of Leiden, having enrolled there in August 1749, and obtained his doctorate in medicine, but never really practiced regularly. He returned to London, but soon after returned to Edinburgh, where he began experimenting again, setting up a successful chemical works. He then moved into Slight Houses, where he began improving the farm, and it was here his interest in geology began. In 1753, he wrote a letter stating he had become very fond of studying the surface of the earth and was looking more closely at the formation of riverbeds and what lay beneath his fields. It was in 1760 his ideas on the formation of the earth's crust began to take shape. In 1764, Hutton took a geological tour of the north of Scotland, noting the rock formations. In 1767, he returned to Edinburgh, where the Enlightenment saw many contemporaries become his associates, including Adam Smith, Joseph Black and James Watt. Due to Hutton's geological knowledge, he became involved in the construction of the Forth and Clyde Canal between 1767 and 1774, becoming a shareholder. Hutton's seminal work was the 2-volume Theory of the Earth with proof and illustrations, better known simply as the Theory of the Earth, which looked at describing geological processes through 2 natural forces, these being erosion and elevation. He first presented his paper, Theory of the Earth, or an investigation of the laws observable in the composition, dissolution and restoration of land upon the globe, at a meeting of the Royal Society of Edinburgh in 1785. In 1783, he'd become a founding member of the Society. At no point did he refer to creation or God, and only briefly mentioned the Bible in passing. He believed the earth had been formed for the purpose of supporting life, and wrote, "It is of importance to the happiness of man to find consummate wisdom in the constitution of this earth, by which things are so contrived that nothing is wanting." He went on to note that rock had been formed at the bottom of the sea by material that had been eroded from land masses, and that these rocks were composed of sea creatures, including shellfish, which created limestone, marble and chalk. Pressure from the sea, earthquakes and the earth's heat, including from volcanoes, had pushed up the earth and created mountains and land. He believed geological time was directionless and was in a constant state of flux. Hutton used the Jedburgh uniformity in his book as an example of the Earth's forces being powerful over a long period of time. To his surprise, the Jed water near Jedburgh was laid on vertical strata in the bed of the river, where I was certain that the banks were composed of horizontal strata. He went on that he rejoiced at his good fortune in stumbling upon an object so interesting in the natural history of the earth, and which I had been long looking for in vain. He believed that they had been upheaved to form land from horizontal strata, and twisted in the vertical strata he saw, with the vertical strata being washed bare, and this surface had been afterwards sunk. He continued, "These operations of the globe remain at present with undiminished activity, or in the fullness of their power." He compared the lava from volcanoes with the intrusive nature of whinstone in Scotland and the ragstone of South Staffordshire, concluding, "These two different species of bodies have had the same origin, and that they are composed of the same materials nearly, but from the different circumstances of their production, there is formed a character to these bodies, by which they may be perfectly distinguished." Regarding the changes in the crust as mainly due to the energy of fire, his followers became known as volcanists or plutonists. Hutton also stated that all different species of earths, of rocks or stone, which have as yet appeared, are to be found in the little space of our island, although he pointed out some exceptions, such as diamond. He also advocated that destruction of one continent is not brought about without the renovation of the earth in the production of another. Flooded rivers and storms at the coast, he concluded, meant that the land is perishing continually. He went on, "In understanding the present constitution of the present earth, we are led to know the source from whence had come all the material which nature had employed in the construction of the world which appears, a world contrived in consummate wisdom, for the growth and habitation of a great diversity of plants and animals, and a world particularly adapted to the purposes of man, who inhabits all its climates, who measures its extent, and determines its production at his pleasure." By 1791, Hutton's health was deteriorating. He suffered badly from stones in his bladder, so gave up fieldwork. Although an operation was carried out, it failed to help his condition. On 26 March 1797, Hutton died and was buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh. In 1819, Illustrations of the Huttonian Theory of the Earth by John Playfair was published, keeping his ideas alive for a new generation. Hutton is often referred to as the father or founder of modern geology. If you enjoyed this episode of Scotland's History, please like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching.